Welcome back to Flow State Activation. Today I'm going to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes of what I do. I don't really show you guys that what really happens in these Flow Awakening, Flow State Activation sessions. And Kolee here, she's a very open book, willing to be a participant, very well trained as a practitioner of love and light, and she's known as the Practical Saint. Are you ready to get started?
I am.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, so I have a little bit of a structure first initially, and then we kind of follow the current as we may, right? Follow the flow state, follow the flow where it may go. So my first question to you is, what's something right now that's currently holding you back, or that you feel like is maybe sabotaging your flow or just holding you back in general?
Right, that's the $1 million question, right?
Right, absolutely.
Trying to identify it so I could hit on something that would really matter to my personal growth. I think that right now it's not the activity. I really am motivated and I'm like ambitious, so I take the action, but I think it's just grouping that, like getting the right team members around me that support what I'm doing and me supporting them in a way that is like making more money. I want to make more money. And I mean, I have influence and lots of content, but not a lot of revenue from it. So just getting the right team around me to expand my financial influence.
Excellent. Awesome. So what does your current reality look like in terms of that right now? So describe to me, what are some of the things that are working, some things that aren't working?
So at the beginning of 2020, pre-COVID, I actually already felt the shift, and I stopped doing what I was doing for like the last decade with the team that I was working with, and went out into writing full time. And I launched my website, theessentialmind.me, and I launched my podcast, Practical Saint Talks, all this year. So yeah, I'm still basically a one-woman show. Thank you.
Yeah.
But so I don't have, I just found a new publisher that I can indie publish with. So that's helpful. But as far as like the podcast and just like my website, I'm a horrible tech person. So I don't have any team to help me build that. So I'm basically just like slinging it out on my own.
Yeah. It's really important to, get that community and that tribe together. I think finding your flow tribe is one of the things that I've been looking at this year as well, like just building a community. As if you guys are listening and watching right now, we have this Telegram group called the Flow Jedis, and I added Kolee to this last week, I believe. And it's just a community for accountability, just daily coaching tasks, things like that. So she's been super active on there and just like sharing her purity, her heart, her soul on there. So it's awesome to finally connect in that way. But yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of group flow is something that you're looking to create right now. So yeah, that's a lot to do with communication, right? Social engagement. How are you reaching people? You see, we use the term social media, but there's not really much social about it at times. It's just media, right? So the real connections happen through the DMs, through the conversations, through the connections that happen where, you're truly like opening yourself up and being much more vulnerable. And so yeah, awesome. Okay, so we can definitely work on that. So if I gave you a realistic magic wand and I told you could have your reality just the way you want it, what would that look like?
I mean, just like the flow group, the Jedi group, I mean, being able to speak and be heard and then be able to reciprocate, listen back, and
Yeah.
just like collaborate, like truly collaborate with new earth minded, people that do no harm, that are here to, change the world. I just, I'm emotional. It's my heart's desire, and I just feel like, I mean, I'm learning. I'm immature in the way my energy comes across. It's like I'm like a dog, like I want to, just jump on people, and like it's like too much. I don't know. So a magic wand would just be like seriously communicating, and everyone having their role, playing on our strengths, and like really building the dream, living our highest calling together.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Amazing. And I almost see you almost like an ambassador in a sense of like really doing something very different, because we have to teach people how to want things in a sense. If it's something that is very nouveau or very innovative, we have to try to really teach people about it. Like I know a lot of people have come to me and be like, what is the flow? Like, like, what is that? What is going on there? And so I have to teach through my content what really it is and opening people up to that. And so finding the voice for that and finding the messaging for that, I call it vibrational marketing, right? So in a sense, you want to align to your truth and let that be that call to action that comes through you, not by you, but through you. And so a lot of this is about, reframing 100% of this self-development game. I don't like that term development. It kind of reminds me of real estate, but personal growth, personal evolution, journey is primarily, a lot of it is self-talk, right? Because we know what to do in our heart of hearts, but it's that inner critic that comes up and sabotages the day.
Totally.
Right.
Which I would say is my main underlying issue is that self-sabotage and fear of rejection. And like, I know what I want to create, but at the end of the day, I haven't created it. And it's that community, intimacy, closeness. It's vulnerable for sure.
Totally.
To depend my livelihood on someone else is hard.
Yeah.
For me.
And also your light can scare the sleepers in a sense, if that, right? And your light can sometimes trigger people who are not unwilling to do their shadow work.
Right, totally.
And all the way. They come out of the woodworks, right? At times, yeah. So that's another part of it. So the self-talk is really critical in terms of really reframing the reality that you want. Your words create your world. So you want to find the vocabulary, okay, that aligns to you in a sense, okay? Great. So we have the dream, we have the vision. So now we have to try to path how to get there. So if we take from point A to point B, flow just makes the process smoother. It's like a vehicle. It makes it less of a bumpy ride when we're in the flow because we're enjoying it. We're actually having fun with the process.
That's been my problem. I've been white knuckling it. Like, this is not fun.
You're right. So what's not fun about it, Kolee? What do you feel like is something that frustrates you or you need to delegate, let's say, because in this sense you're trying to build a team, right? Where is some area that you can delegate that you feel like it would be really helpful to you?
Just having other people promote me. I mean, like, I am totally self-promoted. It would be great if other people were like, Kolee, you need to listen to her. She actually knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yes, I do. That's why I started my podcast, so I could have people on that agree with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just the rejection. The fear of rejection has been the bumpiest part for me, probably. And yet I know that it's my voice. I know it's my calling to talk about it. So I do it anyway. I feel the fear and do it anyway. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be nervous. I don't want to feel shy.
Yeah.
I want to feel confident. I haven't really yet,
Mm.
as much as I'd like to.
Right. Absolutely. So let's dive deeper into this concept of rejection. So what does that feel like, or what memories, images, sound cues come up for you when you think of that?
When you said it, just
Right.
it's like it's so painful.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart. I have an
Yeah.
open heart, and when people don't want to receive it, it's painful to me.
Absolutely.
I feel it deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I don't seem like I do, which is why I put up my, personas
Mm-hmm.
that don't seem nice. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm super mushy on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think people are waiting for that version of you. You know what I mean? Like that mushy side needs to come out a little bit more. Kind of like a marshmallow, that you make s'mores with.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And people, who are watching this on YouTube or whatever, they're seeing your vulnerability right now on camera. And I'm sure that's speaking, volumes about you right now. So thank you for that. And thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And absolutely. I think that rejection is a huge one, for a lot of people. I think it's a Van Gogh quote where he says, if you have a voice in your head telling you that you can't paint, by all means start painting and that voice will disappear, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway, as you said. However, there's this other aspect of it where it has this charge, right? This emotional charge to it. And the way that we tackle that charge is just going deeper into it rather than running away from it, right? Because whatever we
Right.
resist will persist, as Carl Jung
Yeah.
says, right?
Yeah. I like
So,
that. I think that's what I was working on this year just by putting myself out there. I stopped, like, I realized I'm going to be rejected by lots of different people.
yeah.
It's not take it personal. So I started putting myself out there. And of course, the flip side of rejection is acceptance. And I certainly
Yes.
have found a new audience that accepts me. And thank God for COVID. Like,
Mm,
finally people are like on board with what I feel like I've been saying my whole life. So
mm,
I definitely feel that community coming together. I mean, I feel the family and tribes
mm,
joining the flow tribe. I definitely am experiencing that. And I guess I just need to like shed that old shit
mm,
and move into the new me, move into the new part and just fully
mm.
embrace
Totally. Totally. Yes, this is great. So, if you could not think of yourself as being rejected, because that's an identity thing, right? It's like, oh,
it.
I'm the
Totally.
one who's being rejected. I'm the character in the play or the movie that gets heartbroken or whatever, right? In that sense. When you can think of your rejection kind of like external to you. So let's do this activity right now, okay? I want you to imagine your rejection as a character.
Okay.
And it's totally outside of you and it's speaking to you. Okay, you can imagine it like maybe it's something funny like a dog or an entity or,
That's what I did, a
like
dog.
okay, a dog. Okay, that's cute. Okay, so let's say this rejected dog, right, in a sense, is telling you, what is it telling you? What does it need?
Food.
Food. Awesome. Okay.
Food and attention and just a safe place to hang out and to, you know, be a part of the group.
Yeah.
Do something cool during the day.
Mm, totally. So for some word reframes here, I'm getting a few of them that I've used personally for rejection itself. So one thing could be NO is next opportunity.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
There's that smile coming through. Awesome. So NO is next opportunity, and every rejection is a redirection.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? So it's actually a portal. It's a gateway to get you something even greater. That wasn't meant for you. That wasn't your soul signature essence right there, right?
Right.
And so one door closes, a window might open, something else might happen, right? Portal gun might shoot some rays and you might, go into that dimension. So we have to really be open-hearted, but also open-minded, right?
Totally.
And we need our heart set, our mindset, but also our gut set, our soul set, right? We forget about the whole pair. We only focus on mindset.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, so let's name this dog. What's this puppy's name?
Oh gosh. Bart.
Bart. Awesome. I can imagine Bart Simpson as a dog now. That's pretty hilarious. Okay. Now I'm thinking of Santa's little helper, like the dog that they
Yeah,
have. Right?
totally.
Yeah. Okay. Bart, the rejected pup. Okay. Cute. Okay. So now the next time that Bart speaks to you in that way, when you feel that welling up, that feeling of like, oh, I'm about to be hurt by this, you can always just use this visualization to protect Bart. Make sure the dog is well protected and fed, happy, and feeling safe, whatever that means to you, right? Because we can always seek out a safe space, or we can be the embodiments of a safe space.
Right. Totally.
Right? So,
Yeah.
okay, super big shifts. Okay, awesome. So let's take it on the opposite end of the spectrum. What would be the opposite of rejection? You said acceptance, right? So talk to me. Let's invent a character for acceptance as well. Let's have two of them.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
we'll create like maybe a pet family. Let's make it a different animal. What are you thinking of?
Let's do a hamster.
Hamster. Awesome. A hamster of acceptance. Incredible. Okay, what's the hamster's name?
Pete.
Pete the hamster. Awesome. And you mentioned that you've been lacking this kind of fun aspect of it, right? So it seems like you're on the hamster wheel. However,
Yeah.
start to understand that that hamster wheel is almost like how the Buddhists have, angels on top, devil on the bottom, that chart, the mandala, right? So it's almost like you're going through the hamster wheel throughout this day, and it's going good and it's going bad, but you're always coming back to the space of neutrality, right?
I like it.
So that's kind of like you controlling this character. If you had a joystick, if you were playing a video game, you would control the hamster now and be like, okay, I'm going menu mode. And I'm just pausing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting and watching what comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because only then can we start to make a solid decision from that space. If our mind is cluttered and a lot of things are going on, we're trying to do everything at once, we're not going to make the most smooth decisions, flowing decisions, let's say, right? However, if we become extremely silent and tune in those radio receivers out into the universe and tune into Love FM, perhaps, or Acceptance FM, right? Then we can get that true version of ourselves coming out. So I think you're on to a great start in terms of, you already found yourself the Flow Jedi's group, but now you want to find more tribes. So keep putting yourself out there. I would say find like-minded flomies, right? Find like-minded individuals who are on the same journey as you, through
Hmm.
what you resonate with. I know you're a huge Gene Keys geek, and you introduced me to that whole universe. So thank you for that.
It's
It's
wonderful.
incredible. It's wonderful, and yeah, it's like, we've got to be an eternal student of life in this matrix. It's like we've got to constantly keep refining. There's no such thing as mastery, because at the end of the day, there's always something new to learn. And so, you know, it's like getting that curiosity again. And you have lots of boys, right? Who
Mhm.
are your sons, and I'm sure they have a lot of curiosity, right? They carry
Yeah,
that like childlike curiosity with them, right?
right.
So if you were them, how would they make friends? Like, how would they generate tribe? Like, think from their perspective for a second.
Right. They just go out and hang out with people doing what they like. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole neighborhood gang, that does football. Like, they just go out and play together.
That's
And
awesome.
they're instant friends. I I do have a new playground and I see that now. It's just in like ego and like
Mm,
my little poor sad identity, like nobody loves me.
mm.
That's like such an old story. That's so 2019, It's like
Yeah. I like
get
that.
over
That's
it.
so 2019. Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
I just need to move on. Like
Yeah.
and realize I do have it has been the story of my whole life. I'm always
Yeah.
focusing, on the boy that doesn't like me. Never mind
Mm,
the 10 that are around me, that do
mm.
like me. It's the one that I can't seem
Yeah.
to get. Yeah, that
Right. And I think that's also like, I mean, that's very natural, right? It's a survival mechanism in a sense. You want to, we want what we can't have. That is very true, right? It's like we always go for those things that aren't easily given to us. And that's why when this journey gets a little bit irksome or a little bit, skewy, then we can kind of be like, okay, at least this is a part of this adventure. So it's this idea of reframing, like the unknown, and that's a problem, and the unknown, and I love that.
hmm yeah, the unknown
Right.
is exciting.
Yeah, it definitely can be. That's where the higher dimensions are thriving, right?
Ah, right.
So awesome. So we were also speaking a little bit beforehand on a few concepts. I don't know if we're going to cover all of those today, but what about lucid dreaming? You said you're getting into lucid dreaming.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't have any practice to like help me with that at all. I mean, I try to focus, like before I go to sleep. And lately through this portal, it has just been wild. Like
yeah, the vivid dreams,
I
right?
vivid dreams for
Yeah,
sure, but it's not like I'm not like lucidly living in them. I'm
yeah,
just like I'm aware, but it's like I
mm,
don't want to be here at all.
right.
Going to
Okay,
places it's been hard the last few nights.
yeah, yeah. Our stress that piles up, it releases through our subconscious through dreaming. I believe Maharishi Mahesh Yogi said something like this, this concept. So our stress actually, like, you know, releases through that dream
Mm-hmm.
process. So some of those can become different symbolic interpretations, but mainly it's just a release happening. So it's actually a good thing if sometimes our dreams are a little bit messed up, because it means there's a detox happening right in the dream realm. So okay, lucid dreaming. So lucid meaning clear, dreaming meaning that you're aware in the dream, right?
Right.
You're awake in the dream in a sense. So I've experienced this multiple times throughout my life. I think when the time that I practiced it most was right after college. I remember I was experimenting with this. Um, there's a lot of herbs and stuff you can look up, including, I love brainwave entrainment. That's like one of my go-to things. So there's certain like binaural beats out there that stimulate lucid dreaming, right? So you could definitely look those up. I don't know if that might be difficult to sleep with headphones or earphones on though. I'm just trying to imagine. Well, I guess there's some isochronic tone ones as well that you could play in the background that would help you. But the main thing for dreams, I would say, is having a totem or at least a reminder. Like, I'm sure, have you seen Inception?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know how that they had that little like spinning
Too many
totem,
times.
right? Too many times. Okay, so it's one of your go-tos then. Okay, so dream within a dream within a dream, right? I say somethingception, like I'll have a word and I'll put "ception" at the end of it to make it into a word related to that movie, all the time.
Awesome.
Um, so basically, one great practice is to look at your hands, right, in terms of lucid dreaming. So looking at your hands is great because once you become really familiar with just even in your waking life, just being much more familiar with your hands, maybe, do you have any rings or anything? Yeah, great, great.
Yes.
So you know where those rings are placed, right? You have a sensation of them. And so in the dream realm, they're not going to look like this, right? They're either going to be blurry or one ring's going to be off or, it's going to look very different. So when they start to look a bit different, you'll know, oh, I'm in the lucid dream now, in a sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it was so funny. Last night I dreamed that my hair was back. It was like, my hair came back already.
Right. Yeah, dreams are wild, huh?
In a dream.
Yeah, some dreams are really wild. It's like they kind of snap you out of that whole like experience or the trance, right, that you've been through in the dream realm. And it's like, oh no, wait, I gotta wake up. I gotta go somewhere now. Like it's like back to reality again.
Yeah.
Eminem song, "Back to Reality." Oops, there goes gravity. Right? It's like that. So, okay, so yeah, the looking at the hands, looking at the palms is a great one. Another one is, I've noticed this, and I got this from this movie called Waking Life. It's an incredible, very trippy movie. It's animated, and it's about the dream realms, and it's very profound. And I've learned some of those techniques, I believe I've learned from there. Like one of the techniques I got from that movie particularly was switching the lights on and off to see if the light is working. Because in the dream realm, it'll look very, like it won't work or it'll be bizarre. It just won't function in that sense, right?
I see.
So that's one of them. And I believe another one was, oh yeah, reading text. So text will look very different in a dream rather than in real life. So it's just words are going to look different, floaty, not really three-dimensional sometimes, right? So
that makes sense.
Yeah, those are some check-ins for yourself, just to tune into that dream world, okay? And right before you go to sleep, you can make it an intention to lucid dream.
Yeah.
Right, and make it a number that you vibe with, maybe a lucky number or something, right? Repeat it that number of times before you go into it. And also keeping a dream journal.
Yeah. I forget that I totally forget dreams, and I'll go back and read. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I dreamed that. That was crazy. I totally forgot that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing to really, explore that flow state in terms of dreams, I would say, is just like expressing them. Because, somebody who explains their dreams, you're going to be like, this is kind of weird. It's very personal to you. And it seems kind of, strange that you're describing this to me. But when you start to really explore how that dream is making you feel, what it's saying, like I would even go so far as just like recording yourself, like in a voice memo or like on your phone, and just start talking like, what the heck was that? I saw a parrot and then it was, feeding me oranges. Like, what's going on here? Whatever was happening in that dream, like just explaining that and going into the symbols of that. Of course, being very weary that, not weird, but just, have some discernment in the sense of like, what the dream actually means. Because sometimes we'll judge the dream negatively and then it'll like create some kind of negative, way that we perceive that reality. Right. So it's almost like I think of discernment as like the bamboo that goes with the wind. So it's very fluid. It's a process. Whereas judgment is almost like this conclusion, like it has to be this way. This person is like that, full stop, right? It's not a dot, dot, dot. And it's the same thing with any kind of mindfulness or presence practice. So like I mentioned in the group once, it's like presence, right? Instead of present moment.
Yeah, that was
There's
so
that
good.
sound to it, right? So, okay, let's go back to what our intention was, which is, creating this tribe for you and getting you into that group flow, right? And also finding a way to, really get your offer out there in a sense, like speak freely about it and what you value in that. And it's also like the environment that tells you, like, so there's some people in your environment that will value you, but then you'll move to a different environment and they won't value the same things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's sometimes according to the people that are actually there. Oftentimes when people give you those hetero suggestions, those rejections as we were talking about, like their own perception, you almost want to think of it, and this is a technique from my book TPM, right? You almost want to perceive it that they're reading you a story or a novel of their life. So you're not absorbing all the details of what they're saying about you or them. It's like they're just reading the book and I'm a character in their story. So it's like, oh, that's intriguing. You think of me that way in your book. Like, I don't even think of myself like that, So that's the kind of the distancing that you're creating to not take it personally, right?
Right.
So you're like, oh, they're just reading me a magazine or something. And that distancing, it creates a powerful space. And within that space, again, you have the joystick again. Now you're able to choose. So if I were to give you a flow state model to live by, okay, think of it like a triangle, okay? You're down here. You're looking up at two options. One is flow. On the opposite side is illusion, right? So anything that's not flow state is a hallucination, right? It doesn't exist. It's keeping you back into 3D reality, right? It's just like this some kind of ego game or some kind of thing that's just like keeping you chained. And that's not real, right? This is all, a simulation, a game. It's supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah, right.
And we forget that a lot, especially when the world is, like going through such a panic button. Right?
Right.
Where a lot of people's energies, especially for empaths, we're feeling it on a collective level, other people's energies.
Yeah.
Right. And we definitely need to put up that cocoon of white light, right, to be able to protect ourselves during this time. And so what are some practices that you're doing right now in terms of, really the cleansing and the protection?
Yeah. I do, grounding. I run my earth and cosmic energy to make sure to stay in tune with reality and to be able to run that through me so it doesn't get stuck in my being. And I do like meditation and different mantras with my mala, and like this morning I was doing the Adi Shakti, different like prana exercises just to help run through. I haven't really been physically exercising much of 2020 at all. I just kind of like took a break from that. But that's one big practice that really helps me get the energy just not stuck and, frees up everything, yoga and stuff like that. And I wear jewelry to help protect myself also. But the white light, for sure. And then my angels,
the squad,
yeah.
Awesome.
It's a process.
Right. Excellent.
We have a big crew.
Yeah. So There's this amazing, I did this activating your purpose challenge for a few, I think it was like 3 days or so with Amber Valdez. She's a light worker and an energy healer and a coach. And she recommended this pillar of light meditation from David Beaudry. And basically it's like, it's this amazing, meditation that I tried for just that week itself. It was just like amazing. And it's like,
Nice.
one for fun, two for shoe. It's kind of like got this nursery rhyme like factor to it that really and it's a standing meditation, right? So you're that pillar of light. You're standing.
Nice.
And so definitely do that. There's a short version, and I believe there is a longer version as well. But yeah, it's like 4 minutes, the short version. So if you're like, rushing somewhere right before you got to clear the energy, it's too scrambled. It's a great one for that.
And where is it? Where can I find it?
You can YouTube it. So David Beaudry is Beaudry. David Beaudry, Pillar of Lights Meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's an incredible just cleanser in that way.
Cool. Yeah, I get bored, with different meditations. Like,
Yeah.
I try to do them a certain, like, 40, 90 days or whatever to really root it in. But it's like, I've been a Jew before. Like, we do the same thing over and over and over, like, for years. I know that's what religions do, but, like, I like to mix it up. So I love finding new ways to ground in and to protect and stuff. So that's
Definitely.
awesome.
And do you walk barefoot on the grass as well to ground?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I go outside I daily, I have
Get
some
that
bees that,
serotonin. Yeah. Get the
yeah,
sunlight.
definitely. I get
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Cool.
I eat the sun.
You eat the sun. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Well, I think you're very on a prestigious and sovereign path, and I respect you a lot. And I want to thank you for today for opening up so much and sharing your insights and willing to go through this process with me
Yeah,
and
you're
sharing
very
it
welcome.
with others. This is such a gift for the people watching, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, Kolee, if somebody wants to find you, I mean, where can they reach out if they want to join your tribe? You're in it for
Yeah,
this tribe.
it's essentialmind.me is
Mhm.
where all my stuff lives.
Cool.
So I have a blog and a podcast and a great organic one-stop shop with all these kinds of tools. I have Gene
Mm.
Keys. I'm an affiliate with them.
Oh, awesome.
So you can, yeah, so that's where I am. And I'm Practical Sane on Instagram, which is like,
Awesome.
I don't know, I think it's the best community so far I found online. I love to be there. And I love the Flow State Jedi group. I'm
Yes.
I'd rather hang
Yes.
out there than anywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much once again, Kolee, and have an amazing day. May the flow be with you.
You are welcome, Sumed. Did I
Yes.
say it right?
Yes.
And thank you eternally for all you do in your being and for being here with me. I really super appreciate it. I'm very grateful. Have an awesome flow-tastic day, everyone.
See you
Mwah!
guys. Oh.